Tell me about the experience you had with the draft. Like, how'd that go for you?
It was unique in itself of it being, all online and, the normal watching the first round and seeing the first round picks go up there and shake the commissioner's hand. So it was a little different in that aspect. And then Saturday was a long day, sitting there waiting by the phone and, waiting to hopefully get my name called. And then unfortunately I didn't, but I was able to, find myself in a great situation with the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm very thankful for that.
What was that like for you on Saturday when you probably had heard all these projections for you for the draft and the waiting continues into the final day? Like, what was that like emotionally?
There's some ups and downs, but I was expected to go on day three undrafted free agent. So I kind of prepared myself for the worst, and hoping for the best, really. A lot of it was out of my control at that point. I had put all the work in at the Senior Bowl and the Combine and all my training up until the draft. So, all the work had been done, and it wasn't really up to me to decide my fate at that point. So, I'm happy with how it turned out. Unfortunately, I wasn't on Saturday, but I'm happy with how it turned out.
Tell me about that. Tell me how fast did the Seahawks call you right after the draft?
Well, I was kind of talking to them throughout the draft. Had a few talks to them prior to the draft, even to get an understanding of where they were at and where I was, and I felt good about the situation. They don't have it's only Russell Wilson under contract as of right now, so that was pretty appealing to myself. Knowing that I'll have a good opportunity to compete throughout the whole preseason and put my skills on display. So that was the biggest thing. And then the coaching staff up there, they were really good to me from the combine all the way throughout this whole process. So felt really comfortable with them. And then once the draft concluded, we pretty much had a deal in place already, and it was pretty much locked and loaded, ready to go.
You get down that seventh round. Do they say if you don't get picked in this round, this is what we want to do?
Yeah, pretty much. They're kind of talking to myself and my agent, working out contract details and specific stuff like that. So, we pretty much had a deal in place from this, like around the seventh round. We figured that we were going to be at the Seahawks.
Did you get you must have had interest from other teams as well, huh? So was this a tough decision for you? Did you have several decisions there at the end?
Yeah, I had a few other decisions. It's always a tough decision when you're deciding, where you want to start your career, really. But, myself and my agent and my family felt comfortable with this route. And, growing up, just seeing how good the Seahawks have been the last 10 years, clearly they've cultivated a pretty strong culture over there. And it's something I wanted to be a part of, learning from Russell Wilson and all these great receivers. So, I'm looking forward to competing up there, and I'm llking forward to becoming a Seahawk and helping the team win any way I can.
Did you have a chance to talk to Pete?
I haven't yet. Looking forward to it, though.
Yeah. Were you in on the team meeting they had? I wasn't sure if they let, if it was just veterans or, the meeting that they had on Zoom, I think, the virtual meeting.
With Will Ferrell coming
Yeah.
in? No, I wasn't on that one, but I saw that on Twitter and stuff, and that was pretty cool.
That seemed like it would be pretty cool. Well, how was before we get more into the Seahawks, how was the Combine for you?
Combine was cool. It was a dream come true. Watching it on TV, and then being there, it was pretty surreal. Just being able to spend time with all these top college football players throughout the country and all these coaches and front office executives, it was pretty cool and an experience I'll remember forever.
You went in there with impressive numbers, and I could list them, but I think one of the most impressive one was the Pac-12 record for touchdown passes in your first year as a starter. To what do you credit that success?
I think a lot of it goes with me being patient. Most importantly, I waited my time there. I spent 3 years on the bench and then 1 year as a starter. So, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and I knew if I worked hard and just kept my head down, then good things would happen. And, I was lucky enough to have been the backups of some great quarterbacks, Luke Falk and Gardner Minshew too. So they helped my success out a lot, watching how they handle themselves. And then, I attribute a lot of it to, just my competitive background, that chip on my shoulder. I wasn't going to be denied. And, I allowed that chip on my shoulder, kind of being under-recruited, having to go junior college too, to even get there. Use that all kind of fuel my fire and, kind of makes me the competitor that I am.
Well, you brought up junior college, and it was the City College of San Francisco.
Yes, sir.
So there's a lot of talent that's come out of there. I mean, you probably knew that before you signed there, but you say junior college, but that place was a factory.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the place has been producing D1 NFL guys for a long time now. And, the tradition there speaks for itself. I think 10-time national champion. So, going there, it definitely isn't anything too bad. And, they got the most out of me, and they're pretty much the reason I got the scholarship opportunity at Washington State. So I'm always thankful for City College of San Francisco, and I embrace my junior college roots.
I think you deserve a lot of credit for the discipline and belief you had in yourself, because guys in your situation playing behind top quarterbacks like you did, they wouldn't want to be as patient as you were. They would probably want to, this day and age, to see a lot of them transfer, and they're out because they want to play right away. I think you deserve a lot of credit for the fact that you stuck with it through this, knowing that at the end you believed you were finally going to get your chance.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I wasn't gonna enter that transfer portal. The Washington State was the only school to give me an offer, a college offer coming out of junior college. So I feel like I owed it to them. They believed in me then, so I should believe in them and believe in myself. So stuck with it, and I wanted to be a Coug, and that's why I went there. And I'm happy. I'm happy I stuck it out and graduated and spent my whole 4 years there.
There's a lot of Cougs listening to this and watching this, and there's so much pride. I work with a ton of Cougs myself. And tell me the magnitude of what does it mean to be a Cougar?
I think everyone kind of says it. It's a little cliche, but it's totally true. Is that everyone's just kind of family. I think a lot of it kind of plays in part too. Is the community is really small. We're an under-recruited school in the whole Pac-12, but we're gritty competitors kind of in everything. Every sport, we don't have the same recruits as these other schools, but we're hanging with them and beating them, competing with them. So, being a Coug is just kind of being an underdog, always being doubted, but, we embrace it. We love that. And, we love to prove people wrong.
There's just something about that campus too, huh?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you fly in or you drive in from Spokane, it's just rolling hills, and then out of nowhere, it's a big campus and, a pretty cool little town. The place, going there, I was a little skeptical at first, but it grew on me a whole lot. It's a second home to me now, and it always holds a good place in my heart.
Did you have a favorite game that you competed in when you were with the Cougs, even though it was a short period of time? Just one standout?
Yeah, the Oregon State game. That was a special one. We had our backs up against the wall, and we orchestrated a game-winning drive, and we ended up winning the game on a handoff with 4 seconds left. Max Borghi got in the end zone. One of my best friends, my roommates. So that was a special one. That was pretty cool. And not to mention, it secured our 5th straight bowl game for the Cougs. So that one was a special one for sure.
Did your family get a lot of chances to see you play?
Yeah, they made it to all 13 games, the bowl game and all. They came to the Senior Bowl too. So got a pretty supportive family. Very thankful for that.
How about I had a chance to chat with your mom before I talked to you, and I saw her support of you on social. And when you see that, what does it mean to have that kind of support from your family, especially your mom?
It means a lot. They've been through just as much as I have throughout this whole ups and downs of, falling a little bit short with the start quarterback job to finally getting it. So, they deserve to be celebrated as well. They've done a lot. They've sacrificed a whole lot of money traveling and, just to support me and watch me live out my dream. So they live in the dream with me, and I thank them for their support.
In this day and age now, with the way we're all kind of in lockdown, trying to stay in shape. You guys have to stay in tremendous shape because you're a pro athlete. But what have you been doing to keep yourself in shape?
Staying active any way I can. Whether that's at the house or whether that's running the beach about 10 minutes from my house, or if that's traveling back to where I did my combine training only about 45 minutes away. So been staying active, getting around, making sure I could get myself into a weight room here and there, and making sure I'm running around a whole lot and getting my throws in for sure. That's what's most important for me.
I would imagine getting your throws in is difficult. I mean, because it's not like you're throwing against a rebounder or something like that. You got to have someone catching your passes. So are you working out with any other receivers that are, at any kind of different level?
Yeah, a few of the tight ends that I kind of been training with, and a few off-season NFL guys that I kind of know around here. I've been getting some working with them, and then even getting my brothers, pulling them out into the middle of the street and having them spot up in certain spots in the street and up the street at the little middle school, getting them out there in the grass, have them running little routes for me. So any way you can, I'm not going to let this mess up my opportunity ahead of me.
So you're putting your brothers out in the street, and is that where you guys are? Does that take you back to childhood when you're throwing out in the street?
Yeah, no doubt. It takes you back to childhood when my brother Nate and I used to have a playbook about this thick of just plays we had run one-on-one. So
Oh yeah. When you talk about that, did you make up plays when you were a kid?
Yeah, we had call certain routes, certain things, and then draw out a whole sheet of computer paper, just one play on that, and then we'd have like 10 plays or so.
So they're still out there helping you. You're still getting this done, whether it's on asphalt or grass. It doesn't matter, huh?
Yep, no doubt. Got to get it done somehow.
Yeah, well, that's impressive. Hey, just a couple more questions for you. The hair went quickly, it seemed like.
I actually cut it before our Cheez-It Bowl for the Cougs against Air Force. And I've been growing it for a long time, longer than a year for sure. And it was getting pretty ridiculous. Waking up in the morning, it was becoming a hassle. So said it's time to go. Made it through 12 games with it. Made it through 12 games. I said for the 13th, I'm going to cut it. And I just cut it. And then decided that once I went to the Combine, I'm going to have to be places without a hat on soon. So it probably wasn't a good look.
Yeah, too much like bedhead or something like that.
Oh, yeah. It was all over the place.
Well, where are you getting it cut now? None of us can get our hair cut, so how are you pulling it off?
I got this a while ago. So I'm looking a little rough right now. So, definitely going to need a haircut soon.
All right, so as we wrap it up, so what are you doing? Like, what do you do outside of football to maybe just keep yourself sane and maybe keep yourself refreshed? Like, what do you like to do outside of off the field?
Just spending time with family for sure. Especially we aren't really allowed to leave the house. It's been spending a whole lot of time with the family. Just going on little walks around the block. I'm lucky enough to live pretty close to the ocean over here. So, taking a little walk and getting a nice little view every once in a while is nice. So, just kind of hang out at the house, play a bunch of video games, really, though.
Yeah. You do any surfing?
I don't. Not anymore. The ship has sailed.
The Seahawks talk about Zoom workouts. Do you have scheduled workouts coming up with the Seahawks where, is there anything planned?
Yeah, I think we got a virtual mini camp here coming up soon for rookies. And then, I don't think we're allowed to be integrated with the veterans yet. So, just been studying the playbook. Anything that they give me, I've been looking over it a bunch and just making sure I'm prepared for when team activities resume. I'm ready.
So Zoom workout, like, is that something where you have to be on camera and follow what they're telling you to do as far as lifting weights or any kind of, how would that work? Do you know?
I'm not sure yet. We'll see what they have planned for us this coming weekend. But for now, the only Zoom meetings that I've had is just kind of one-on-one instructional, going through playbooks, reviewing stuff. So I haven't had any sort of physical activity during the Zoom other than just kind of, talking plays and talking ball, really. But I'm curious to see how it all works out.
Well, there's one good thing. I guess you get that playbook in your hand, so you can already get studying on it.
Yep. So already cracking away at that, making sure I get caught up.
Yeah. Hey, one last question. Do you have any Mike Leach stories for us? Anything that stands out? Too many to mention, or what was he like?
Yeah, too many to mention. But Coach is exactly what you see in the media. He's all over the place, but when it's time for football, he's ready and he loves to win. Everywhere he's been a winner, whether that's Texas Tech, Wazoo, going over to Mississippi State. He's a proven winner and he's going to turn that program into winners. So he's going to do it while throwing the ball 50 times a game. So they better be ready.
Hey, I talked to Pat, and he said you guys only had 2 running plays. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
So anytime he ran, it was like an unaudible?
Pretty much, yeah. There wasn't too many pre-called runs. A lot of it was checked by the quarterback, or sometimes Borghi and I would come to an understanding on certain plays. We like running it and stuff. So, only 2 running plays, a inside zone and then a quick trap. And then we had like that shovel pass, if you want to count that as a run. So.
Yeah, you had Borghi as a roommate, man. Was he putting heat on you to make some more calls out there for him?
Yeah, he was, but he had 86 catches and led our team in catches, so he could be happy with that. So
that's a good point, man. Well, listen, it's great having a chance to talk to you, Anthony, and good luck as you get to the Seahawks, and we'll see you when you get up here.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.